What if one day gravity on Earth somehow shut off? Just for 30 seconds. Would Earth survive it? And more importantly, would we? Good news. You're about to float. Bad news. This isn't the cool astronaut float you see in space videos. This is when reality breaks. And here's what would happen if Earth's gravity vanished for 30 seconds. Let's zoom in. At first, nothing looks weird. You might be sitting on your couch right now, scrolling your phone, watching YouTube. Totally normal. Then it happens. Your feet stop pressing into the floor. Your stomach lifts, like the ground just quietly rage quit on you. And your inner ear instantly freaks out. Because it isn't just a balance sensor. It's a gravity sensor. And it just lost its one job: finding down. So your brain panics. You reach out to steady yourself. But even a gentle push sends you drifting sideways. No traction. No weight. No friction. Basically, your body just got switched to free trial mode. And that's the first real shock. You don't control yourself the way you think you do. Small movements suddenly turn into big ones. Your organs shift slightly, like that roller coaster feeling. Except the ride doesn't stop when you want it to. For the first few seconds, the biggest danger isn't falling. It's disorientation, nausea, panic, and then it hits you. This isn't the polished, zero-gravity floating scene in astronaut clips. Up there, everything is calm, controlled, strapped down. Down here, it's messy, unplanned, and you're surrounded by furniture, glass, and loose objects. That can turn into hazards real fast. Now zoom out. Outside, the problem isn't the lifting. It's momentum. Speed doesn't disappear just because gravity does. That's inertia. Everything that was already moving keeps moving. Cars keep driving like nothing changed. Like shopping carts rolling downhill that nobody can grab. Except now they aren't pinned to the road anymore. So they drift upward, while still traveling forward. Now look up. Because the sky doesn't stay normal either. Commercial airplanes don't instantly drop out of the air. They're already flying forward at high speed. But gravity disappearing breaks something pilots rely on without even realizing it. Orientation. Your body senses down. A plane's instruments assume down. Even the airflow around the aircraft is built for a world where weight still exists. Inside the cabin, things get ugly fast. Loose items drift instantly. Anyone not strapped in starts sliding out of their seat. Bags and laptops turn into spinning hazards. And the pilots can still grab the controls. But now every movement pushes them away too. So even tiny corrections feel wrong. And helicopters do not hover anymore. A helicopter stays stable by constantly balancing lift against weight. Remove the weight, and the whole machine becomes unstable, twisting and fighting for a direction that no longer exists. In 30 seconds, not every aircraft would crash, but you would see planes wobble, flight paths break, emergency systems trigger, and across the world, air traffic freezes. Because nobody wants to be in the sky, unless you're looking for a direct flight to heaven. Zoom out a little more. Inside buildings, gravity was doing quiet work no one ever noticed. Elevators lose their down. Passengers slam into ceilings as cables go slack. Construction cranes swing the wrong way, counterweights suddenly meaningless. Scaffolding shifts, then drifts apart piece by piece. In hospitals, rolling equipment slides off its anchors. In operating rooms, instruments lift off trays. In power stations, components designed to sit heavy begin creeping out of alignment. The grid doesn't fail instantly. It destabilizes. From above, Earth still looks intact, but its surface behaves differently. Birds lose their sense of direction and scatter into buildings. Insects become drifting clouds, carried by air currents that suddenly matter more. The atmosphere doesn't disappear. 30 seconds is far too short for that. But without gravity, air becomes restless. It moves in slow, uneven currents, pushing dust, debris, and smoke like an invisible ocean. And the oceans, they don't rise into space either. Earth's oceans are held down by a ridiculous amount of gravity, and they have too much inertia and mass to just leave in half a minute. Coastlines would see water behave wrong. Boats would lift strangely. Spray would hang in the air. Now let's talk about satellites. Satellites don't stay up because they're magical. They orbit because Earth's gravity pulls them inward, while their speed keeps them flying forward. It's basically a non-stop controlled fall. So if Earth's gravity vanished for 30 seconds, satellites wouldn't instantly shoot off into deep space like fireworks. They already have huge sideways speed, so most of them would still be near Earth afterward. But their orbits would get slightly off, because the inward pull that keeps their path curved would weaken for a moment. And an orbit slightly off is a real problem. GPS isn't just Google Maps. It's timing, banking systems, navigation, shipping, phone networks, military coordination. Even the clock on your phone trying to figure out what planet it's on. All of it depends on signals arriving at the right time. So even a tiny disruption could cause wrong locations, signal jitter, timing glitches. And Earth's gonna fly away from the sun, right? Well, fortunately, no. Earth doesn't just launch into space. Its motion around the sun doesn't stop. Orbital momentum keeps it moving along the same path, like a car still rolling forward, even if the engine cuts out for a moment. 30 seconds isn't enough to throw a whole planet off course. So yeah, the solar system stays intact. But for how long? If gravity comes back after 30 seconds, it's going to be a disaster. Because everything that floated up comes back down. If gravity doesn't come back, then we've got a much bigger problem. And what if Earth actually drifts out of orbit someday? Well, that's another reality break to uncover. Subscribe, because we're definitely going there soon.